Good morning, friends. How are you? Come on in. We're going to make some hoe cakes. Now, what's a hoe cake? No, it wasn't your best friend from high school. Shh, just kidding, just kidding. Hoe cake is kind of like if cornbread and a pancake got together and had a baby. They're delicious. They're quick and easy. It's an alternative to heating up the oven. I've got some soup beans going, so we need some cornbread to go with it, but I didn't want to heat up the oven. It's hot here today in Southern Ohio. Brock is frying fish today. He caught some fish the other day. So we kind of built the menu around the fried fish. So Mason wanted coleslaw, so I got that. We're going to do some fried taters. So we're going to do our hoe cakes right now. Now, this isn't something that I normally measure, so I'm trying to do my best to give measurements here. This is something my mama always made growing up in Kentucky, and so I'm just going to kind of try to do the best for measuring, and we'll tweak it if we have to. So inside of my bowl here, I have 2 cups of cornmeal. This is self-rising. I always use self-rising cornmeal. You can use whatever cornmeal you like. I have just a little under a 1/3 cup of self-rising flour. We're going to add that to the cornmeal. Then I like to add a pinch of salt. Some people like to add onion. You can do that if you want. It's kind of like a hush puppy type situation. 1 egg. Okay. These come together super quick. Sorry. Harper's running around. Harper loves to chase flies. There's a fly in here, so he's chasing it around. He's making a lot of noise. All right, milk. Now, you could use buttermilk. I've just always used milk because more than likely I'm not going to have buttermilk on hand. So I'm going to start with 1/2 cup. Because like I said, I don't measure. Let's start with 1/2 cup and go from there. Because I can always add more. I can't take it out. So that's not going to be enough. I knew it wouldn't be. But, okay, let's go with another 1/2 cup. All right, let's see now. You want it kind of like the consistency of pancake batter. That's what we're going for. This is still a little too thick for my liking. I think I'm gonna go with another 1/4 cup of milk. And then we'll see, okay? I think that's going to be the trick right there. All right, I want you to see that. See that? Okay, so I'll recap then. We've got 2 cups of the self-rising cornmeal. This is the Martha White buttermilk cornmeal mix. That's what I always buy. About a 1/3 cup of flour, maybe a little less, pinch of salt, and 1 1/4 cups of milk. Now, I'm going to pull you over to the stove. We're going to heat up a hot skillet, neutral oil. You could use lard, you could use butter, whatever kind of oil you want. I'll meet you at the stove. So we're here back at the stove. The skillet is nice and hot. I'm just going to scoop in with that 1/3 cup of measuring cup there. And just scoop some batter in, just like you're making pancakes. I reckon you can make them as little or as big as you'd like. I like to make them about pancake size. Don't want to crowd my skillet because they will kind of spread out as they're cooking. And we're just going to give them a few minutes on each side to brown, about 3 or 4. And we'll do a flip and I'll be right back. All right, I'm using a non-stick skillet. You could use really any skillet you want. You could get your cast iron out. This is just the first thing I grabbed. So see, we've got some great color on those. Now we're going to give them a minute to cook on the other side. And then as they come out, I love to put them on a plate and put a little bit of butter on each one. Ooh-wee. All right. Be right back as I finish up this batch of hoe cakes. Here we go, my mama's hoe cakes. I've put a little bit of butter on each one. There are 5 ingredients if you count the salt. So simple and delicious. Perfect way to serve up cornbread without heating up the oven. Now, stay tuned to this video if you'd like to see how I did my slow cooker pinto beans and my coleslaw recipe. There you have it, friends. Hoe cakes. You know I gotta try one. Oh, look at that. Perfect. This recipe made about 9 of them. So if you need to reduce the recipe or make it larger, you're welcome to do that. I made these ahead. We're going to eat in about an hour. I can leave them just here, wrap them up, or put them in the toaster oven on warm, and they'll be perfectly fine to go with our soup beans. All right, friends, stay tuned if you want to see the beans and the coleslaw. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me. Good morning, friends. Come on in. I want to tell you what I got going on. I've had a hankering for some pinto beans, and I forgot to film last night and show you what I was doing, so I'm going to explain to you this morning what I did. I put them in my slow cooker. Now, I don't know why I've never cooked beans in the slow cooker before, because you all know I'm the queen of the slow cooker. Well, anyway, yesterday when we got home from our camping trip, you saw that we had such a good time. I think we're going back next weekend. I'll bring you along. So anyway, I had a pound of pinto beans. You can use any kind of beans you want. I wanted pinto beans. Soaked those at 7 a.m. until 10 o'clock last night. Now you want to soak them so you don't get the rooty tooty and the scooty. So if you don't want to soak your beans, you don't have to, but you know, if you live with other people, you might want to soak them beans. Anyway, soak your beans, rinse them, pick out any rocks or weird beans or whatever, and then I just put them in my slow cooker. If you remember what I did, that Coca-Cola ham, I saved the bone and the juice and put it in the freezer, and I thawed that out and put that in with the beans. And look at these. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna chop up raw onion. I don't put any onion in it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm gonna put chop up raw onion I have with it on the side. So I put it on low for 6 hours while I was in bed, and then when I got up, I checked the consistency of the bean. You can choose how soft or how firm you like your soup bean. And I turned mine back on for about an hour on high. Now I've got it on warm. So we're gonna have it later. We're gonna fry some fish, and we're gonna have beans, and I'm gonna make hoe cakes, and I'll do that recipe later to show you. And I whipped up, Mason wanted some coleslaw, and that's why I come here to tell you the coleslaw too. But listen, I gotta try a bite of these. They're staring at me. Is it wrong to eat soup beans at 7:40 a.m.? No, it is not. So why I come here really is to share this with you, this coleslaw, because listen, I've made coleslaw for, how old am I? I've made coleslaw for 40 years. This is probably some of the best coleslaw I've ever made. And I didn't measure anything, of course, because I didn't plan on sharing. I just, it was coleslaw. But here's what I think I did. About a cup of mayonnaise, real mayonnaise. Half a cup of sour cream. This is the first time I've ever put sour cream, I think, in my coleslaw. But I put it in my chicken salad, so I was like, why not put it in my coleslaw? Same principle. And I put in about 1/4 of a cup of milk because I like a creamy consistency. Plus, it'll start to wilt, as I call it, from the sugar. So I put in sugar to your taste. Maybe you don't like it as sweet, just whatever sweetness you like. Salt, pepper, of course, tons of pepper in there, and some celery seed. And I like to add a little bit of acidic. I add about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and that's it. And it's delicious. Mason loved coleslaw and requested it, so there it is. But I just wanted to share with you that recipe that I threw together this morning without measurements. But I think it's about that. You want more mayonnaise than sour cream, so depending on how much cabbage. This is just one of those bad cabbages I had already cut up. And there you have it. All right, I'm going to go for now, but I wanted to share with you what I was doing last night and this morning. So I'll be back later.